welcome to my channel. My name is Crisanta de la O. I am a mother of 4, married to my husband for 12 years, and I am documenting my journey into becoming a nurse. It's been a roller coaster. I actually just finished my first year of teaching, decided nope, it's not what I want to do. Now I'm even more fired up to do the nursing. So here I am. Now I wanted to do this video because I actually did the CNA. I made a vlog about my CNA written experience, and that's like my highest viewed video. And I see that a lot of, according to my analytics, I see a lot of y'all searching for, you know, the CNA Prometric, you know, tips and tricks and experiences, and I hadn't done the skills part, and I have some tips for you for the skills. I did pass it the first time that I took it, and I actually have a very different experience. I did my CNA training during the height of COVID. First, let me just get into the tips on how to pass it your first time. For me, it had been 1 whole year before I even did the CNA written and skills. When I signed up for them, I had to sign up for them at 2 different times. I couldn't do it the same day. So first I did the written, and then I had my skills exam for another time. I can't remember if it was like 2 weeks later. But yeah, it wasn't done the same day. When I was trained here in Texas, I had trained under Pearson VUE. And then they ended up switching over to Prometric. So whenever I signed up, I really wanted to do it before they switched over to Prometric. And unfortunately, because every time I signed up, they would cancel it because of COVID cases going up. So they would cancel it, and then I wasn't able to get in, and they switched over to Prometric. So this is what I did. First of all, a whole year had passed. So I was very, very nervous to take the exam because things had changed. So I went onto the Prometric website and I looked at all the skills. And then after that, I went onto YouTube. Now, mind you, remember, it's been a whole year and it's a different company that's proctoring this exam. So it's like I'm learning all over again for the skills. And then, so I went onto YouTube, and I'll link these YouTube channels down below because this is what helped me. I forgot the names of them, but I'll link them down below. But here's what I know for sure. The day of the testing, so you don't know who you're gonna be paired up with. You don't just go in there and do it with the person who's doing the test. They pair you up with somebody. I had no idea that they were going to do that. So in case you didn't know, that's what they did. Now that's here in the state of Texas, and that's with Prometric. I don't know how it is everywhere else, but in Texas, that is what they did. Now this is what I noticed. So the girl that I was paired up with, I felt so bad for her. She was young and you know, and you can tell she, like, we were all really nervous, but you can tell she was really nervous. And this is what I saw that I knew that I was glad that I ended up doing is, 1, make sure that you have a solid opening and closing. Like, because when you get there, you're so nervous. I remember being so nervous. But if you have the same entrance and the same ending, then it'll get you flowing. It'll get you into a groove, and it'll make you look like you know what you're doing, even though in the back of your mind you're like, you're going through all these steps and you really don't know what you're doing. But once you get into a groove and it comes automatic to you, then it'll come to you, I promise. So make sure you have the entrance and the exiting, or the beginning and the ending of every single one. You have it down solid, okay? And I learned that from one of the YouTube channels. I can't remember. I think it's called For Your CNA. And here's another thing. Because it had been a whole year before a whole year had passed in between my CNA program and taking the exam, For Your CNA actually offers a course. And I ended up paying for that course. I don't think it was too bad. I think it was a little over $100, but it was worth it to me. Like, I just wanted to really take the time and study it and go through it again. One, because a year had passed, and two, because I was taught under piercing view, and then all of a sudden I'm having to test under Prometric. So to me, it was necessary to buy her course, and I'm so glad I did. Do I recommend it if you're just off the CNA program and you really want to pass it? No, I don't. Because her YouTube channel, that's all you need to know. Like, if you're nervous about, and this is talking about the skills, if you're nervous about the skills, just watch her YouTube channel over and over for every single skill. So my number one tip is to make sure you have a solid entrance and exiting plan. Like, you're gonna do that same one for every single skill you have. I cannot express how important that is. Make sure you have the solid foundation. You do the same entrance and the same exiting for every single one of your skills. Okay, tip number 2. What is my tip number 2? Oh, tip number 2. Again, because a whole year had passed and it was a different company that was proctoring the exam, this is what I did, okay? And obviously it worked because I passed it the first time. I watched every single skill YouTube video and I practiced it with my kids, with their dolls, with my husband. Like, I actually acted it out for every single skill. I think there's 22 skills. Every single skill, I'm not kidding you. The way that I did it, so I gave myself a time frame. I can't remember how many weeks. I think it was like 3 weeks or something like that. Yes, it was 3 weeks, because I started off with like 2 skills, okay? Those 2 skills, I practiced them until I knew every single step, okay? And then the next day, I would add 1 skill, but I would start from the top, okay? So Monday's skills plus Tuesday's skills, I would do all of those. And then Wednesday, I would do that skill. And then when I felt confident about that skill, then I would go up to the top and I would do Monday, Tuesdays, and that day's skill. Do you know what I mean? So I started off with, like, you can start off with 1 or 2, it just depends. And then I just build off of that. And each day, each time I added a skill, I would practice that skill until I felt confident about it. And then I would start from the top and go all the way down every single day. I know that that may sound absurd, but to me, it was very important that I knew that I was going to be confident and I knew what I was doing by the time I stepped in there. Y'all, I was a nervous wreck. But when I got in there and I started my entrance, it's like it was flowing to me. It was, you know, I knew the movements, I knew what to say. And when I was watching my partner, I could just, she was, because it's intimidating. This woman is watching over you, and I don't know how important the CNA is to you, but it's very important to me because it's part of the entrance to my nursing program. It was very important to me. So the girl, my partner, she was missing so much. Like, she didn't even do her entrance. She just came in and started doing the skill when, you know, you're supposed to knock, you're supposed to introduce yourself, and you're supposed to make sure that you have the right patient. And then you let her know, you know, I'll be right back, and then you give her privacy. Like, that alone, she completely didn't do any of those. So make sure you have a solid entrance and ending, okay? Very, very, very if you can't tell how important it is. I promise you it will help you, because it'll get you moving. You'll gain momentum and you won't be as nervous. But that little girl, pobrecita, I felt so bad. She was just shaking. She was so nervous. And another thing, I feel like the proctors, obviously it depends on who you get, but they want you to pass. You know, she was even helping that girl. Like, that's how nervous she was, and she wants you to pass. Another tip that I have is be confident, because I think it has a lot to do also with how you present yourself and how you're talking to the patient. Fake it till you make it, okay? I know that sounds bad, but go in with like a sense of pride, like you know what you're doing. even though you have no idea. But the woman who's proctoring you, she doesn't know that, okay? That can be a secret in her head. Just come in with confidence and be like, hello ma'am, my name is Crisanta, I'm your CNA today. So I'm here to do foot care. Is that okay with you? Yes? Okay, all right. Well, I'm gonna give you some privacy and I'll be right back. I'm gonna go get my supplies. That was literally like my entrance. Hello ma'am, my name is Crisanta de la O. I am your CNA for today. How are you? You know, get some conversation. Great. Well, Miss, and then whatever her name is, Miss Gallegos, is it okay if I perform foot care on you today? Yes? Okay, all right, great. Well, I need to go get my supplies, but I will be right back. And then you close. You have to always give them privacy. That's like one of the biggest things. You give privacy and then you go and you get your supplies, because also it's another thing that's very important for the skills is that you have to have the correct supplies. So those are my top 3 tips, okay? Let's go over them again. What's number 1? I gotta hear ya. Tell me, what have I said? Ending and closing. Okay, I'm sorry. Beginning and closing. Entrance and exiting. Very important. You do the same ones for every single skill. I copied for your CNA's entrance and exiting. So I'm going to link her YouTube down below so that you can see how she enters and how she exits. And it's the same exact routine every single time. So just copy hers. That's what I did. That's number 1. Number 2, practice, practice, practice. Role play your clinical skills and role play, and make sure that you're also getting the right items that you need for each skill, because that's also very important. Like, go through the scenario exactly how you would on the day of the exam, and you just keep doing them over and over and over again until it just comes second nature to you. Okay, it can be done if it's very important. I know it sounds like that's very boring and it's not something that you want to do. Girl, do you want your CNA or not? This isn't about your feelings. This is about what needs to get done. I'm sorry, that's what I would have to tell myself, so hopefully it helps you, because it helped me. It's not about your feelings, it's about what needs to get done, okay? I love you. Okay, and then tip number 3, fake it till you make it. I know that sounds bad, but just come in. What that means is just come in with confidence and act like you know what you're doing. And hold your head up high and your chest high. Okay, do the superhero pose before they call you in. Okay, studies show that that actually helps boost your confidence. Just stand like this right outside the door until she call you in. No, but seriously, those are my top 3 tips to help you pass the CNA skills exam. That is what helped me. Remember, okay, there was a whole year gap before I ended up doing my skills exam, and it was switched from Pearson VUE to Prometric, so I was taught different, so I had to literally relearn everything. So if I can do it, mama, you can do it too. Yeah, those are my tips into successfully passing your nursing skill exam the first time. I hope that you stick around. I want to upload more nursing content. I am actually on my way. I don't know if you can see it, but I got my TB shot, and I actually have to leave here in just a few minutes to the clinic to get it checked out so I can get my TB shot paper so that I can send that into my nursing program. And today is the last day for me to submit everything, and so I'm really excited. I'm in the middle of I'm in the middle of studying for my TEAS test. I'm gonna head out. I hope that you stick around, and I am vlogging my TEAS test experience. And so if you're interested in that, I hope that you stick around and let me know what you want to see from me. I would love to make content for you to inspire you, especially mamas out there. My niche target are my mamas who want better for their families, who want better for themselves. And especially if you're a mama who wants to go into nursing but are too afraid or too or don't think that you're good enough, because let me tell you, this is what I used to tell my students when I was a teacher for a year. If you have a brain, you can do it. All right, mamas, I gotta go because I don't want to run late. I will see y'all in my next videos. Thanks for stopping by. Ciao.